We've all heard it. God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. It's a catchy line, but it's been weaponized to shame LGBTQ people, to label them ungodly. That's not just bad theology, it's a distortion of Scripture used to justify hate. Let's unpack Genesis, the go-to text for this claim. This is part one of a series exposing every major verse twisted to attack LGBTQ people. And before we begin, no, we're not ignoring the rest of the Bible. This isn't about debating sin. It's about calling out how Scripture gets weaponized to spread harm. Now, Genesis 1. It's a poetic vision of creation, light and dark, land and sea, male and female. But just because it names pairs doesn't mean those are the only valid forms. Genesis speaks in opposites, not to restrict reality, but to reveal balance. It's like saying God made day and night, so twilight must be unnatural. But creation isn't black and white. It includes the in-betweens. Genesis 1 doesn't say only male and female were created. It says they were as part of a theme, not a boundary. Now Genesis 2, the close-up story. Yes, it describes a heterosexual union, and yes, it's often read as the archetype for marriage, but it doesn't say it's the only valid relationship. It tells the story of one couple, Adam and Eve, not all people, for all time. And crucially, it never condemns anything outside of that model. The idea that it excludes all other relationships that's an interpretation added later, not something the text actually says. Genesis never mentions same-sex relationships, and silence doesn't mean rejection. That's not Scripture. That's assumption turned weapon. Genesis doesn't mention penguins or pandas either, but they're still part of God's creation, real, natural, good. So is Steve. Saying something's wrong just because it's not in Genesis is like saying pineapple in a salad is sinful, or that a secret menu item is wrong because it's not on the board. And no, we're not twisting the Bible to fit modern values. We're exposing how it's been twisted to attack people God never told you to hate. Genesis tells us what came first, not what came only. So yes, God made Adam and Eve, but that doesn't mean he didn't also make Steve. Genesis focuses on a theme, not the entire plan, and what it leaves out doesn't equal what God leaves out. Next up is Sodom and Gomorrah. Drop your thoughts in the comments, but keep it on this topic.